Here to help us understand how a Christian worldview informs how we should think about the value of work is David Bahnsen. He's a laborer himself in the field of economics. David, happy Labor Day.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
David, from your perspective as a Christian economist, how does the Christian worldview emphasize the importance of work?
Well, I think that what is unique to the Christian worldview when we think about work is that it was instituted in creation. And so there's a theology of work that is not necessarily shared in the rest of the world. The bulk of the world sees work as a necessary evil. They see work as something one has to do in order to make a living, and therefore the contest, so to speak, ends up being finding the work you're going to enjoy the most, find the work that's going to pay you the most, but it always is disconnected from that fundamental foundation that in fact we were created to work, and that our God, being a worker, making us in His image, asked us to be a co-creator with Him. He gave us a dignity that mirrors the image that He has, and us as co-image bearers are now responsible to steward the earth, to have dominion over the earth, and that in fact work was created to be a great blessing in our lives and is existential to our mission here on earth.
And how does the Christian worldview make your economic views different from those of any other economist?
I think there are a number of different schools of thought of economics, and so in other words, there's even more than one wrong view of economics. But what is uniquely Christian is a view of economics that sees it as the playing out of human action, the way in which humans who were made by God with dignity in pursuit of human flourishing are allocating scarce resources, how we are freely interacting with each other, cultivating the creation that God gave us. Well, I just said 4 or 5 things there that when stripped from a Christian understanding mean something very different. So we should not be surprised when at varying degrees of collectivism, of intervention, of a command and control view of the economy, whether it's full-blown totalitarian Marxism in one extreme, or socialism, or even just a Keynesian understanding, all of these different views of economics fundamentally lack that worldview component that economics is humans acting in God's creation. It is a very specific yet crucial aspect of how we view a worldview of economics.
David Bahnsen, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
The Bible tells us in Exodus, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God." Something to keep in mind as you take this day off once a year.